Welcome everybody to another edition of the CGF and Beaver show. Unfortunately, CGF couldn't make the Melbourne Cup edition, so we've got the great Scotsman here to run sidekick here with the Beaver. So welcome, Scotsman. How are you, mate?
Thanks, Dave. Why CGF not here? The mail's going around that he couldn't catch the bus in because he ran out of money at the weekend. Is that true?
Well, I hear he's on a bad trot at the moment, mate. His pockets are empty.
He's at the wall. Yeah.
So he's hit the wall. We've got the real tipsters here for the Melbourne Cup edition, mate. We've given the CGF the brush, and maybe he'll make a comeback.
Well, be with the tipster, so let's see what we can do.
So we're just going to have a look through the Melbourne Cup field here today, Scotty. Have a quick analysis of each runner, and then we'll give a few tips for the punters and see if you've got anything else on the day that you like. So let's kick it off with the top weight for the Melbourne Cup, Dunadan. What do you reckon?
You know, I'll just go back a little bit because a third of the field are Europeans this year, and it really is a truly international race. This field this year, I reckon, would be one of the best we've ever seen. So across the board, it's hard to draw a line through most runners. I'll give everyone a rough chance apart from a couple. But going back to Dunadan, it won the Melbourne Cup in 2011. It ran second in the Caulfield Cup in 2012. Got too far back. This year it ran in the Art Trial in September. It was an average run. It's carrying a bit of weight. It's a bit old in the tooth. $35, probably slightly over the odds, but not for me this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, not me either, Scotsman. I backed it last year and it got me cash, and I won't be backing up on it this year.
Yeah, fair enough.
Moving on, Green Moon.
Melbourne Cup winner. Blinkers on this time. Up in the weights, barrier 10, 35 to 1. Disappointing the Cox Plate last year. Slightly disappointing the Cox Plate this year. Can be forgiven. Got to respect the back-to-back wins, but not for me. I think it hasn't done enough for me to win.
Scotsman, when was the last Melbourne Cup winner backed up the following year and was 35 to 1?
Well, that's right. Exactly right. Exactly.
It's good value, but you can't get me. I don't think it's in the same form as it was as last year.
Yeah, well, Lloyd will be hoping it wins, but not for me.
Yeah, Red Cadeau.
Jeez, Red Cadeau. Third in the Melbourne. This is its third Melbourne Cup preparation. In the Melbourne Cup, ran second at Dunadan in 2011 at about 40 to 1. It would be my biggest personal result ever if I'd won that day. So I'm ruling a line through that just because of that. Believe it or not, interesting stats. It hasn't had a spell since February. The trainers travelled all around the world since February. So we've been very competitive, but again, getting a bit on in age. $51 looks good odds, but I can't see it troubling these.
Yeah, me either. Me either, Scotsman. I won't be getting on Red Cadeau or whacking it in any exotics.
Yes.
Sea Moon. Here's one for us, Scotty.
Sea Moon. This is interesting. This horse, was the winner of the Herbert Power. It was bought overseas for this particular race in mind. It's lightly raced. It has beat Dunadan and Red Cadeau before. Williams bought it really thinking this was the Melbourne Cup horse. I think the form at the Herbert Power might be the way to go this year, because where is the form this year?
Yeah.
Is it the Geelong? Is it the McKinnon? Is it the Lexus? Herbert Power? Or is it just the international horses just too good? What do you reckon, Dave?
Well, I think you're probably none of the above. Yeah. It's the international horses in regards to the form. I think they look to be strong this year. It is hard to line the form up. There is one or two horses that have had a start already this preparation that look to be hard to beat. But, yeah, it's really hard to assess. But Sea Moon's not without a chance.
No, it'll be in my first fours for sure, but not top pick.
Yep.
Barrier 7 will be suited, yeah.
Perfect.
We'll be on the pace, and I don't see that much pace in the Cup this year, so look, it's going to be there for a long, long way. Absolutely.
It'll stay the distance too.
Yeah, for sure.
Brown Panther.
Jeez, you know who owns this?
No.
Famous soccer player, English internationalist, centre forward for Liverpool, Michael Owen.
Very good.
Unbelievable lad, soccer player. I hope the horse is good. This is a leader.
Don't tell me you're a Liverpool supporter.
Oh, when they're winning, I am. Look, it disappointed last start over 2,000 metres. It has beat Mount Athos before. It won the Goodwood Cup. It's working really well down at Werribee. It's well weighted. It's barrier 6. It's going to be on the pace, 19 to 1. And I give it a good chance. It will be in my first 4.
Fair enough. Beaver's going to probably leave it out, but what would he know? Scotty?
Oh, these overseas horses. Look, we just got to find a winner. Overseas horses will win it this year. It's a weak one.
That's right. Number 6, the favourites.
Oh, geez, we laid a lot of money through the office today on Fioronte. 8s into 7s. Waterhouse, Cox Plate, ran third. Was it a hard run, the Cox Plate? Has it knocked it around? Look what happened to Genoa at the weekend.
Correct.
What happened to Fioronte? Barrier 5, it's well suited. I'm not sure about the run, the Cox Plate. It was there to win. It was a tough run chasing the leader down. You
still would have thought it would have went past the maiden.
That's true, that's true. It did run second in the Melbourne Cup last year.
Yep.
It is the favourite, probably entitled today, but I'm looking for the other overseas horses. I think they're better.
Yep. I agree. I think it's been set for this race, which worries me about the Cox Plate run, having to do all that work. I thought it probably should have went past the maiden. Yep. It didn't. I'll probably chuck it in, but yeah, it concerns me. I actually think it'll probably get out on the day. What do you reckon?
I don't. Yeah, well, Mount Athos. I mean, my old man tipped it to me 3 months ago at $21. He said, "Son, just be on." Well, it's into $8.50 now. CGF backed it at 14 to 1 when I tipped it to him. It could go close to favourite. The only problem is the barrier. Otherwise, Mount Athos would have started favourite if I had a good barrier.
Yeah, I still think you'll get $9, $10 for Fioronte, but we'll see. What are we on to next? Fourteller.
Fourteller. What a huge run, the Cox Plate, eh? Ran 4th.
Yes.
It's fit. It's got good form. Waller, barrier 15. Not for me, though.
3,200?
Yeah, 3,200. Bit sus, but geez, it did finish this race off well on the Cox Plate. It really did, but it might be a bit of a gate deceiver. But well, you can't knock 4th in the Cox Plate. Go to the line, probably one of the strongest horses in the race.
Yeah.
But no, not for me, I'm afraid.
Not for me either. Dan Dino, 2nd in the Caulfield Cup. What about the Melbourne Cup, Scotty?
Yeah, well, this is interesting. 2nd in the Caulfield Cup. It's got the same form as Jacobry when it ran 3rd in the Melbourne Cup, when Jacobry ran 3rd. Distance is a query. Now, this is interesting. This jockey, Ryan Moore, last Thursday or Friday, he was riding at Newmarket and on Thursday, I think, racing in England on Friday, jumped on a plane on Saturday to go and win I think it was the Ledger in America, jumped on a plane, now he's coming into the Melbourne Cup. So he's a terrific jockey, Ryan Moore, from a good racing family. 2nd in the Caulfield Cup. If it gets Faulkner's run last start, he probably wins the Caulfield Cup. Distance is a query, top jockey, terrific trainer. He'll be in my first 4, but not top pick.
Yeah, he's perfect. He's been set perfectly for this race if it can get the distance. You look back over the form and it's 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 2nd, spell. Before that, 7th, 2nd, 1st, 2nd. So it's a horse that finishes 1st or 2nd quite regularly. So if it can get the distance, it's definitely going to be in the finish.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Moving on, Ethiopia.
It's only ever won one race. Won the ATC Derby. It's 4th in the Lexus, which is an improved run over 2,500 metres. $71. You just couldn't have it, could you?
No, not for me. Faulkner
won the Caulfield Cup. Williams. Distance is a query. 16 to 1. It was a good win last start. As I said, swap Dandino and Faulkner's runs around. Dandino wins the race. I think Williams' other horses will get more of a chance in this race. I'll pose it at 16 to 1.
Yeah, I think 16s is probably under the odds for a horse, but there's been a bit of money for it. Yeah, can't get it. Moving on, Moraine.
Moraine, believe it or not, over 3,200 metres. It's 3 starts. It's 1 win and 1 third.
Yeah.
Outside of the field at 126 to 1. 7th in the McKinnon. Blinkers off. Barrier 19. I can't have it.
Start now for me.
Yes.
Number 12, Seville, halfway through the field.
Seville. Again, another run. 7th in the Cox Plate. It was actually an excellent run. Preparation's good. I don't think the horse is personally good enough. The form's through the Metropolitan, and that form is not good enough to beat these international horses. Barrier 9 will help. 17 to 1. But again, the form around the Metropolitan will not win the Melbourne Cup.
$17. Is that unders for a horse, Seville? I mean, when you look at it compared to some of the overseas horses that are around $15, $16.
You're looking at some of these, the Sheik's horses, 26 to 1. I mean, come on, he doesn't take a horse over here for nothing at 26 to 1.
Yeah.
Willie Mullins, he's a top English trainer. His horse is outside those odds.
I mean, outside Seville's running the Metropolitan, take that out, it'd be 200s.
No, it'll be a 4 or 5 between Moraine and Seville.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if you can have a bet who leads after the first past the post and over the first lap, Moraine's probably good odds because that's the only time it'll be leading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
Number 13, Super Cool.
Sewing Cup Group 1 winner. Cox Plate run was good. $41, barrier 13. Not for me, but believe it or not, in the Melbourne Cup, 4 and 5 year olds have got a terrific strike rate in the Melbourne Cup. To choose the Melbourne Cup winner, you've got to be 4 or 5 years old. That's the statistics, what they say. Super Cool does come under that. It's a 4-year-old, but not for me.
Yeah, not going as good as what it was last preparation, in my opinion, the Scotsman, so I'll be leaving it out.
Fair enough.
Number 14, Mars Marvel. Bit of another Williams runner.
Yeah, Williams bought this from the UK Mars Marvel. Cox Plate. Forgive its run. I don't think it handled the track, to be truthful. The form before that was all right. Williams has bought this to win the Melbourne Cup. It's 35 to 1. I can't have it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll be leaving it out. Not for me. As much as I like Hickmon as a trainer, yeah. I won't be throwing Mars Marvel in. Too many other better horses.
Yes.
15, the big mover, Mount Athos.
Mount Athos, here we are. Yeah, I think about $21 a couple of months ago. It's into $8.50. Craig Williams on board. Luca Kamani flew home in the Melbourne Cup last year when he got far too far back at 5th. When it finished 5th. Track work has been outstanding, along with the other Brown Panther. It's got a bad barrier. Same weight as last year. A bit of speed in the race. It'll be the horse that'll be finishing the race off the best. It's going to be right there. Was my top pick before barrier draws. Now, I'm not going to have a top pick, but it's right there for me.
Yep. Scotty, I've noticed that Ryan Moore and Spencer have both ridden this horse before. Any reason why Williams might be aboard here and neither of those jockeys?
Yeah, Kamani, I mean, Craig Williams, he's the gun Aussie rider, you know. I think Kamani must have preferred the sort of jockeys in these big races, you know. Yep. I mean, look at Jimmy Spencer the weekend. He side glassy rode down an absolute treat.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
To win the McKinnon, so there's nothing wrong with English jockeys.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but I was just wondering why they might not have been on that, maybe. All right, moving along, number 16, Royal Emperor.
Where are we? Sorry, Dave. Number 16.
Saeed bin Sarah.
Well, it was $26 back yesterday. It's into $21 now. Slightly raced. The distance suits. Hard to beat. It's beat Red Cadeau before. McAvoy's on board. Looks the value bet to me, and it will be right in my first 4 selections.
That's why Beaver's not on it, McAvoy.
Is that right?
Okay, absolutely, mate. He just kills me. So I won't be throwing it in purely because of McAvoy, but that doesn't mean it's not a chance.
Look, it's a 5-year-old. I mean, the Sheik's worked it out that he needs to bring the 4 or 5-year-olds over here.
Yep.
I mean, it's forms out of it sires a horse called Tefilo, which I think only had 5 starts and was undefeated and was actually a sprinter. So interesting, he brings this horse out for the Melbourne Cup on breeding, but $26 into $21, someone likes it.
Yep. Number 17, big chance for Luce de Coeur.
For Luce de Coeur. This is very interesting. This was bought from the UK by Mike Maroney. It won the Irish St Ledger. Is that form good enough? I've got a question mark on it. They bought it off Dermot Weld. Now, why would Dermot Weld sell a horse for the Melbourne Cup? He had it in the early nominations for the Melbourne Cup. He pulled it out. He was keeping it for next year. And then Maroney decided to make him an offer. And they bought it off him. So, going by what Dermot Weld thinks, not for me. 15 to 1's running the market, though. It is a 5-year-old. It won last start. Barrier 21 might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. And Dermot knows how to train Melbourne Cup winners. So that is an interesting point you make there, Scotty. So, yeah, chance, but not in our top picks. Yeah. Number 18, Hawk Spur.
Jesus. It's been in the markets for all the cups all the way right through. Can you believe it's out to 15 to 1 when... Before the Caulfield Cup, what price? It was
favourite.
Yeah, it was one of the favourites of the Melbourne Cup. 7th of the Caulfield Cup, bit unlucky. 5th of the Turnbull. Yeah, it's barrier 18, babe. No horse has ever won the Melbourne Cup from barrier 18.
Is that right?
Yeah, so Jimmy Cassidy's on board. Yeah, he is a 101 Group 1. Well, it's not Group 1, but a big race for Jimmy. I think he'll be struggling. He'll have to weave his magic from barrier 18. Yep. Break some records there. Not for me.
Yeah, no, I'll be throwing it in, Scotty. I think Hawk Spur's a massive chance. I really liked the Caulfield Cup run. I think the form book prior to that was fantastic. I think If it can stay the 3,200, I think it's the kind of horse that can sit and sprint. As long as it gets a bit of cover early, you'll be banking a little bit on that. But there's a couple of other runners that fall into that category as well.
But in the Caulfield Cup, it was a terrific run. It got too far back, made huge amount of ground.
Yeah.
The question is, how much juice does it use from barrier 18? Where's it positioned?
Yeah.
If it gets a crack at him, he's going to be there too. I mean, it will be there, but not top selection.
He's a good horse. Moving on. Simeon.
This horse is well weighted. This is a really good trainer that has this. Willie Mullins. I really like Willie Mullins. He brought Holy Orders out 3 or 4 years ago. It was a real rag of a horse. It played up shocking. But Willie Mullins, he brought it over, ran third in the Herbert Power. I tipped it as my best bet of the day. It was his first run. It was underdone that day. It loomed up to beat Seamoon. Just ran out of path.
It was 3 wide, a fair way out to Scotsman. And I remember you tipping that as your best bet, and I watched it very closely, and I was really impressed by that.
It ran second in the Ascot Gold Cup. It's a big chance. It'd be one of my top picks. I'm not sure what odds it is, actually.
Yeah, I think about $17. So there's been a bit of money. It's in from $20, $21.
Yeah, barrier 12. It's got a good statistic. Barriers between 9 and 12. The most favoured at winning at Melbourne Cup barriers.
Yeah, I think it'll run the distance as well. I mean, it's got form over 4,000 metres, where it's finished second at Ascot, 3,200. So it's definitely going to get the distance.
I'm going to be on it.
Moving on, number 20.
Geelong Cup winner, eh? I think Simon O'Donnell or whoever bought this last year for the Cups or whatever, and I was on it every start. As soon as it went at 50 to 1 first up, this preparation, and I wasn't on, I'll never back the horse again, right? Talking through my kick beef.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, it has won a distance. It won the Geelong Cup. It's $71. No, not for me.
Not for me either, mate. I'll be moving on. One of Beaver's top picks, or his top pick, Verema.
Well done, babe. I think we're on the same page here. 5-year-old, big plus. One last start, barrier 3. One last start in France. It's a top French trainer. This trainer used the same lead-up race for American and Dundee. You can't get any stronger form than that. It could well be the one. $13. I'll be keeping it safe. That's mine. If it wins, it's party time.
Perfect. Same with me. I'll be all over it like a cheap suit, Scotty. Number 22, Dear Demi. Good form.
Dear Demi, what can you say? It ran well in the McKinnon. Distance is a query. It's well weighted. Mares don't have a good record in the Melbourne Cup, believe it or not. They have a very poor record. But believe it or not, 5 of the last 13 Melbourne Cups have actually been won by mares. So maybe the form's turning around a bit. It was third in the Caulfield Cup. It was second in the McKinnon. They're strong runs. It's a 4-year-old. It's barrier 16. Singleton, he'll be party if this wins.
Well, mate.
Can he afford to shout 125,000? I
think he'll try.
125,000 people screaming and shouting. It could be party time if Dear Debbie wins. Well, Gibbs will be finishing the race off, but so a lot of other horses.
Yeah.
You can't put them all in, but he'll finish in the top 8, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll be putting it in my top selections, but yeah, absolute chance. We'll be finishing the race off, assuming it gets a good run. Falls into that category of a lot of other horses that are drawn out a little bit wide. My concern with a horse like Dear Demi is he's going to go back, well back. It's going to probably be in the last 5 in the run. And I just don't think horses these days can give these international horses come from the back of the field like a Kiwi or something did and run over the top of them. They're just too hard and fit.
You got to remember, our breeding or whatever, the Aussie horses are not as good as the internationals. We've been buying the international horses, we've been buying the second-rate ones.
Yeah.
They're coming now with the guns. They're coming with the big names, the well-bred, the expensive horses. The $6 million is up for grabs. They're not mucking around these internationals.
Yeah.
It's big money now.
Number 23, Trey Blue.
Oh, Waterhouse. It's never raced for Waterhouse before. Very interesting, eh? It's an on-pace runner. It's well-weighted. It's a 4-year-old. One last start. Barrier 20. I don't know too much about it, but I mean, she's never started for us, so what can you say? Obviously a French horse.
Yeah. Hasn't had a lot of starts.
No, but I mean, as I said, the statistics show 4 or 5-year-olds are the strongest form line.
Yep.
Last start, 11 of that last 19 Melbourne Cup winners, one last start. Remember that. It goes in that category. You're going to have to put it in. $21. First 4 for me.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
I would put it in my first four for sure.
And to finish off the field, Rossello.
Well, geez, I'm glad it won on Saturday, Beef. Got me a nice little prize. I ate well Saturday night.
Yeah.
I really did. I ate real well Saturday night. He won the Lexus over 2,500. OTI bought this horse to win the Melbourne Cup. But it's way up in class, the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
It's grand final this Saturday. They've done well to come over and get pinched Aussie's prize money. I don't know if this is an afterthought or what the story is, but I think they'll be pretty happy that they won on Saturday.
Yeah, you know? Me too. Good to see Chad Schofield getting a ride in the
Absolutely.
Cup.
Absolutely.
Good young up-and-coming jockey.
Again, it's a 4-year-old. Again, it won last start. I mean, if statistics don't lie, he's entitled to be right there, but not for me.
All right, Scotsman. It's down to the business end here.
Oh.
You're going to have to give the punters a call.
Yeah.
Let's break it down into your boxed first four / trifecta.
I'm going to oppose Fioronte only because I think the other international horses are better bred. And I didn't like its Cox Plate run. Even though it loomed up to win, I thought it was entitled to run down the main, Seamus Award. So I'm going to have Mount Athos. Mount Athos. Sorry, Dave.
You're right, mate.
I'm just number 17, Mike Maroney one for Lose to Cours. I'll give that a chance. Sorry, Dave. I'm just going to go with Mount Athos is my strike, followed by number 17 for Lose to Cruise. Hawkspur I give a chance, and throw in the 21 Beef.
Varama.
Yeah.
Very good, mate. Well, Beaver's top selection is Varama. I'm going to go Varama with a bit of a saver on Hawkspur and Mount Athos. And if you want to throw a few more in for a box trifecta first four, throw in Sea Moon, Fioronte, Dandino, and to finish it off, Simeon.
Yeah, well, I'll throw in Sea Moon for sure, definitely. Brown Panther. I think the French also, the French trainer using the same path, American, Dundee, Varama. I mean, that's the one for me. Mount Athos, if it gets good running in the race and gets a nice position, it'll be the one over the top. So Mount Athos and Varama definitely for me. Hawkspur, maybe filling the places.
All right, anything else on the day at the moment, Scotty? Or not yet?
Let's get a bank before we get to the Melbourne Cup. Melbourne Race 3, number 1, Opinion. Chris Waller, huge run last start. Ran about 7th or whatever, but I mean, put a line through it. It'll beat 2 lengths. It'll be winning $4.40. Get your money early.
Perfect. And the Beaver says race 4, number 1, Arenosa. So follow it up there, and that'll give you a bit of money in the kick for the rest of the day.
Well done, Beav.
Thank you, Scotsman, for joining the Beaver today on the Melbourne Cup edition. Punters, good luck tomorrow on the Cup. Make sure you've got your money in your BetEasy account. If you want to open up a BetEasy account, we're matching your first deposit up to $500. So if you put $500 in, we'll give you $500 worth of free bets. So that's a pretty good offer out there, Scotsman. And as we say, bet responsible and enjoy the day. Don't drink too much.
Good luck,
Ciao for now.